In an embarrassing sign of America's manufacturing decline, the world's largest chip maker, Taiwan Semiconductor, announced a new $40 billion Arizona factory, 3 years in the making and painstakingly negotiated, would miss its deadline because they can't find enough qualified engineers. They finally gave up and are now bringing 500 engineers from Taiwan to get it up and running. So why doesn't America have enough engineers? After all, we're much richer than Taiwan. We spend roughly 3 times more on education. Easy. Our education system has been captured by left-wing socialists, converted from a skills factory to an indoctrination factory. Instead of math or even reading, they teach whatever bullet points the revolution needs this school year. The result is not just creeping socialism from brainwashed voters, but an increasingly third world workforce that has to import high-end assistance from poor countries. This gap is growing fast. At the Taiwanese university I used to teach at, a majority of the 20,000 students were in STEM. In fact, nationwide, almost 30% of Taiwanese university degrees are in engineering alone. In the US, it's 6%, many of them foreign students. And it's not just lobotomizing our college students. Our system fails on the most basic level, contributing to generational poverty. Last month, I mentioned that Baltimore schools reported 93% of students were not proficient in math. Fully 23 schools had precisely 0 students who could do math, and another 20 schools had a single student who could do math. In Detroit, it's even worse, with 96% lacking proficiency in math. In fact, 95% are not even proficient in reading. Keep in mind, these are these schools' own numbers. And note, they do this with plenty of money. So Baltimore spends $21,000 per student to fail to educate them, 30% more in the rest of America. Even Detroit spends over $15,000 per student, which is within 3% of the nationwide average. In both cases, incidentally, they spend about 3 to 4 times more than Taiwan spends to actually educate children. This failure combines with our government's war on manufacturing, ranging from environmental and labor mandates to social justice policing. A study by the National Association of Manufacturers found environmental regulation alone costs over $13,500 per manufacturing employee, while other regulations brings that up to $25,000 per worker in regulatory costs, nearly doubling the cost of the worker. In some industries, it is downright comical. 2 years ago, the Army's Transportation Command testified in Congress that U.S.-built ships cost 26 times more than ships made in China. Only a fraction of that is wages. It should be about 30% cheaper in China, not 26 times cheaper. The rest is regulation, mandates, and a quasi-literate workforce. American manufacturing has been in decline since the 1970s, to the point today we have between 30 and 40% fewer workers than countries like Germany, Austria, or Japan. Until we return education to hard skills and end the regulatory war on manufacturing, it is an absolute pipe dream that America stands any chance of catching up to Asia. Instead, we will fall further behind, relegated to third world assembly with a third world workforce. And if we can fix these things, manufacturing could again provide a decent living, as it does in Japan, enough to support a family and a middle-class lifestyle while revitalizing the, quote, Rust Belt our elite has written off. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.